Hello, today I'd like to tell you about research that I'm doing with collaborators at Penn to understand genetic risk factors for susceptibility to COVID-19. The coronavirus that causes COVID-19 has characteristic spike proteins on its surface that give it the crown-like shape. It enters human cells via a protein receptor called ACE2. The gene for ACE2 is located on the X chromosome, which means that men have one copy and women have two copies. The ACE2 protein has a number of important physiologic properties, including regulation of blood pressure. It's also expressed in the kidneys and the liver and the small intestine. So these characteristics might explain why we tend to see men, particularly those who have underlying health conditions, being more susceptible to severe reactions to COVID-19. But we also know that there are young, healthy people who are also having severe reactions. We want to understand if there are any genetic risk factors that may lead to this. So we've been studying variation at the ACE2 gene in over 5,000 ethnically diverse individuals from across the globe. These include 2,500 Africans that we've been studying together with our African collaborators originating throughout sub-Saharan Africa. And they practice a number of diverse subsistence methods, including hunting and gathering, pastoralism, and agriculture. So generally speaking, we find a lot of variants resulting in amino acid substitutions in the protein at this gene. We don't yet know if those different proteins are impacting the ability of the coronavirus to enter cells. That's something we have to do further research on. But what is clear is that in most populations, these variants are very rare. The only exception is in the hunting and gathering populations from Central Africa who have these variants at a relatively high frequency, ranging from about 10 to 20%. Now that's interesting because these groups tend to eat bushmeat. They're often exposed to viruses that originate from animals, and they've been shown to have some relative resistance to viruses. What's also interesting is that we see a genomic signature of natural selection at this gene in those populations, indicating that these variants have recently risen to high frequency because they're somehow adaptive. And so this is something we want to look at further to understand what the biological impact is of these variants. And we also want to continue looking at variation at other genes that may play a role in susceptibility to COVID-19. So thank you, and I hope that everybody stay safe and strong, and take care.